Hey, Railbirds, here we are, the 2024 SYKRS WPA World Artistic Pool Championship. This is the part two of round one playoffs between Steve Markle and Gaston Tomadoni. Real quick, while these guys are practicing, I'm going to go ahead and introduce these players. Steve, the Blue Shark Markle from Levittown, Pennsylvania. 2023 U.S. National Artistic Pool Champion, 2023 World Championship semifinalist, 2024 Masters four-time discipline champion. He is ESPN World Cup of Trick Shots silver medalist, but he might be most famous for his Lincoln Nautilus and Evan Williams Whiskey TV commercials. He is sponsored by Viking Q's, Triple 60, Valhalla, IBEW Local 98, Flipside Wallets. His opponent. That's not what I wanted. Hitting the wrong buttons. You know, it's been a while. You know, I'm new to this. I used to know what I was doing. That was back. That was back in the day. But his opponent, Gaston, the Prince Tomadoni, all the way from Buenos Aires, Argentina, 2022 WPA World Third Place finish. That same year, also World Draw Champion and World Bank and Kick Champion. He went home with some medals that year, as well as 2019 and 2022 World WBA World Follow Champion. All right, looks like players are just about ready to get started. So I would like to introduce our guest commentator for the match. It is the one, the only, Mr. Venom himself, Florian Kohler. Hey, Florian, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Good to go now? Yep.
We are good to go now.
Good to be here.
It is good to have you. Thanks for sitting in with us.
Absolutely.
So this should be a pretty good match. I think these guys are fairly evenly matched. This should be a good match. I expect to see some high scores and a close one the whole way.
Yeah, this should be quite interesting. A little bit of a different style in matchup, in my opinion. A little more wild in Steve and a little more controlled standard pool player, I would say, in Gaston, but should see how it goes.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Not wild in pool playing maybe, but wilder in real life though.
Yeah, he has a lot of personality for sure. But fairly straightforward at the table, but very, very colorful outside away from the table.
Never shy to celebrate either.
Oh yeah, see.
So I'm not sure who won the lag here. So I'm not sure who's going to start. I'm not sure if you followed or not. We're about to get the surprise otherwise.
I get the feeling that Gaston is picking because he's the one that's flipping through his book right now.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
All right, so the way this works is we're going to have 8 rounds where we go through the disciplines one at a time, alternating who gets to pick the shot from that discipline. And then after that, we're going to have 8 wild card rounds where you can pick any shot from any discipline. You just can't pick the same discipline twice.
Yeah, and you can't pick the same shot twice either. We had the question earlier.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, it's definitely Gaston going to table for trick and fancy. So in this case, usually you try to start with something that you're going to make. You really don't want to go too dangerously right away. However, those two players are pretty strong, so wouldn't be surprised to see a 9 or 10 pointer right at the back.
Come out big right away, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think you said 2A.
So it's a 7 pointer, so a little reserved here. 2A.
4 in a line.
Oh, that's good to know for me. That was one of the shot I used last year as a starter as well.
Tim Chin used that as a starter as well.
Yeah, for some reason a lot of the players don't really know the setup, and if you know how to set it up, it works pretty good. I actually played that against Steve last year, and he did not make it, so we shall see if he practiced it. A little bit tedious to set up. You got those first 2 balls. Usually you start around the spot there. That A1 is usually pretty easy to do. The D and the B ball, they're a little tricky sometimes to get in. And then, believe it or not, to make the ball in the corner is not the easiest as well. You gotta hit that with a little bit of follow, usually just a touch on top.
All right. For some reason, the players this year, they've been very camera shy, and they've been setting up at the opposite end of the table from the cameras on almost every shot.
Well, I don't think it's related to you. We have a couple issues at hand here. Not sure
Okay.
if people mentioned it before.
No.
The table is quite high by the table side. The player where they're sitting, you can see the foot is raised quite a bit. So you're kind of sitting higher up. So it's a little weird. So one side feels low, one side feels high. And then there's quite a few divots. A lot of practice has been allowed this year. So
Okay.
we're trying to run away and stay away from the divots, and most likely started in the right side, and now it's basically the opposite side.
So you're saying I shouldn't take it personally?
No, it's not personal. Did take one here. Yeah, it's pretty good on the setup. Just gonna adjust that, just play a little higher on the cue ball.
Yeah, setup looked good. All the
Mhm.
4 in a row all went in the pockets, so it was just the cue ball missed that hanging 2 ball.
Yeah, which is fine. Usually that's the, tricky part is to make the 2 ball in the corner pocket at the same time. When those 2 go, the corner ball is adjustment. Kevin, do we have access to the chat as well on this? I'm assuming so, right? We'll see that pop.
Yeah, it'll be right here.
Great.
So far, our viewers are being kind of shy so far. They're not being very chatty.
Yeah, well, you guys have any question, let us know. We'll be happy to give you the technical input too.
Yep. Guys have any questions for Florian? Shoot them in the chat.
So he's probably pretty good on his setup here. That ball is a little slow, so he angled it a little more, as you can see. On the 13, it's going to play it about the same speed, just probably a quarter tip higher on that cue ball. Sorry, lower on the cue ball. I missed it short. I missed it the other way now. Yep.
Well, he made an adjustment.
This is why we have three tries in trick shots. Usually you learn to miss left, you miss right, then you miss in the middle.
Hey, that's not a miss. If it's in the middle.
Well, that's how I say it. I like to say to people, I don't really learn to make shots, I learn to miss them. Because if you know where to miss them, you know how to make it, basically.
Well, there you go.
I see a comment about 2024, is this a live playback? No, it's not a live playback. We missed a world championship during COVID times, and we've since then been, well, a little offset on the year. So it is the correct thing, and it is live. I believe this year we're going to try to catch up and play an extra world championship for the 2025 year at the end of this year. Hopefully by then we'll be caught up and good to go.
Yeah, this is just the end of the 2024 season. We're just getting to it, a couple months after the end of 2024. Kind of like the Super Bowl, which is, played in, the following year.
Correct. All right, let's see if we made the adjustment right here. Too short, too long. And dead in the middle.
Right in the middle. Excellent adjustments. So 5 points for Gaston.
Note to myself, do not pick that against Gaston.
All right, you're not allowed to take notes. You got to close your eyes.
Oh, I'm taking notes.
You got to close your eyes and not watch what they're shooting, but you still have to do commentary on it. You can do that, right?
Oh, I'm watching like a hawk. But Gaston have been watching me like a hawk the whole time, so.
It's all fair, right?
Yeah, it's well, to be fair, it's 2 different tournaments really. The preliminary rounds, which is about really not missing, just making your own shots. Doesn't really matter who you're playing against, and this is completely different. Matters against who you're playing, right? And your selection does matter a lot, but if you don't know the shot that's being shot at you, it's difficult, right? So I see Terry high back. How long did it take you to learn all those trick shots? Well, that's Hard to say.
I would say it took you 48 hours to learn all the trick shots.
This one says 100 of the shots, so it does take a little while to learn all of them.
In case you don't know, we went through the entire shot program in one mad dash 48-hour marathon.
Yeah.
By the end, he was pretty tired, but he was hitting the shots pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was it's still 70% success rate or something like that. I moved about as slow as Mike Massey now, though. So. We got some Gaston supporters here. I see Theo in the chat as well. So Steve definitely learned to play the shot as well. He's played it good. Just a little off. Nothing to worry about for him either. Should be able to make the adjustment. So I believe the rest of the matchup on table 2 we have Maxence Latch versus Wayne Parker. Table 3 Tim and Anthony. And the final table here we have Brian and Jason.
So, all of you viewers who watched Florian during that 48 hours, you'll be happy to know he promised me he's going to be doing a 72-hour one coming up real soon.
Did I say that?
Actually, I think you said, heck no, never again. I think is what your exact words were, but I read between the lines.
Oof. No, quite frankly, the 24 was fairly simple. 30 was fine, but I would say after 35 it was really a grind, and I made one crucial mistake is I played on a drop pocket, on a ball return like this. The first 24 hours I did was on the drop pocket, so I didn't have to get lower, and my back just killed me after 20 hours just going to get the ball, retrieve the ball.
I should have had someone getting the balls for you.
You don't have the right to, actually. Part of the attempt is that nobody can help you at the table at all times.
That makes sense.
Because otherwise they could set the ball for you, could sit down and just
of course, that makes sense.
have a drink. So
yeah, just call me when it's my turn.
Yeah, so unfortunately, which I believe is much harder than the other pool marathon when players can't actually sit down while the second person in there gets to shoot. So I see Wayne made a great shot out there, speed shots. Or Steve for his third attempt. No, that's a miss. Actually overcorrected that. Short, long, and then too short. So that will be a 0. Not a great start for him. But that's okay, it's still pretty early, and luckily it was an easy shot, so only 5 points. He didn't lose any time, he already had his selection. It says 2B, so another 7-pointer.
It's going to be nick of time.
Okay, interesting choice.
So tell us about the shot.
Not a very difficult shot, but could be a little dangerous under stress. And so you're going to shoot the cue ball into that stripe that he's got set up there. You're going to stop it, then reshoot the cue ball into that ball on B and make the C1 ball before the C2 ball comes in. Now sometimes the cue ball's got a tendency to stay by the corner there, so a little tricky. Sometimes you'd miss the ball. So a few things can go wrong, but you got to hit that with decent pace to get the cue ball out of the way. Perfect. Oh, he's missed the first lead ball. He hit the second part of the shot really well, though. So.
Did it roll straight? Did it roll off, or did he just miss it?
No, I think he just missed it. The table have a slight roll. Hard to say, though. Really, in between the divots and the dirt, the chalk we put on there, sometimes a few things can happen. So. We're just gonna do it again. Try to line this shot better.
Okay, 14 looks good.
Looks
There it
perfect.
is. 6 points for Steve.
Good way to put some pressure down. Now I expect Gaston to make it, but we never know, right? So great shot in slow-mo, by the way. Look at that. See, like he hit that cue ball perfect. He got out of the way just in time. But if you hit it a little bit on the fuller side, sometimes the cue ball just camp in there, block that pocket.
Yeah, that'll be the worst. The cue ball just sits there in the way.
And he does it all the time. Now, if the cue ball go and scratch in there, it's okay as well, as long as
it's out of the way.
correct.
And in trick shots, scratches are almost always allowed, unless
Yep.
it very specifically is disallowed on a shot. But are there any shots where it's not allowed to scratch? Probably not.
In this program, I don't believe so. Actually, in my opinion, scratching trick shot means you hit the shot even better.
You hit it right in the center.
Yeah,
You hit it perfect.
That actually means you hit it perfectly. So it's one of the biggest thing online. But he scratched. Come on. Let's see. No, it's interesting too. I didn't even mention that, but we actually have two lefty here playing. We don't have that many lefties in the tour, and those are probably our two only lefties. It's a very rare thing. Not that it matters too much in trick shots, but some shots will be a little different the way they set them up. Looks good. Yeah, see? Missed the ball. All right. So far, so good for Steve. So he hit that a little too thin. He's going to go a little fuller. Meaning take more of that 7 ball that he just set up.
Yeah. Theo Mihalis, the Blood Shark in the chat. Wishes he could be here. Unable to attend. And Annie Trickshots has been in the chat also. She was also scheduled to attend, but had a little bit of a mishap, so kind of canceled her plans.
Yeah, hopefully she feels better soon. Oh, wow, that's a good pick from Steve. All right, notes to self as well. Yeah, he's struggling with the speed actually. Like I said, the different style in opposition in style as far as the pool playing goes, right? Gaston more of the proper pool player, meaning you stay down, you don't want to move too fast away from the ball. You've been thought to stay down on every shot, right? Steve coming at pretty much at the same time as me in the trick shot world, which is via videos, right? When we're wild and a lot of motions and moving balls are really usually not a problem. So it's a good pick. Never thought, you know.
So do you know, are either of these guys good pool players?
I mean, if I had to say, Gaston's probably a much better pool player than Steve. No offense, Steve, but
No, they're totally different things.
always hit it.
There it
Oh,
is.
nice
All
save
right,
here.
so 5 points for
Nice
the Prince.
save. Yeah, still a good pick, I believe. Just was able to readjust. So now it will be Gaston's choice for the draw discipline. And he's leading, not by much, but by 4 points, so it's still a shot. Kind of curious of what he's going to pick. I'm assuming we're going to see a 10-point draw, but it could be something else. There's a few good 10-pointer draw. I know he shoots the circular draw as well, which is a crowd favorite.
No, we love the circular draw.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes for it. Now the table play is a little difficult, so it may be a bit of a risk. Now he's leading a little bit, so it could be a calculated risk. What do you say?
2B,
Well, so no risk yet. There's still
the spin transfer shot.
observation phase. This is not a good pick for Gaston. Steve likes this shot. It's a very nice little shot, though. So you play this with bottom, the bottom spin is going to impart follow on the ball A, which will get it in return to continue towards pocket A. So in a way you force. It's a very good pool player shot actually.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know about those things, and it's very useful in a game. Pretty easy, but can be missed. Yep, like this. So you hit this a little too full, which is where you hit the rail. Now if you hit this too thin, that lead ball here will go on the long rail rather than the short rail. So now he's going to try to make the 8 ball, just reverse those balls. So hit it too full, he's going to go thinner, try to hit less of that 8 ball. Dead end.
There we go. Nice adjustment.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 6 points for Gaston.
Makes him having a 16-6 lead. And see how Steve can respond. So at best he can only do 7 points anyway. But he needs to try to catch up already. So very surprising, no risk yet from any of the players. Staying on the high percentage shot rather than getting something a little more dangerous.
Maybe just feeling each other out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Obviously kind of a mark of respect as well, you know, compared to like a fighting sport when there's a round of observation.
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of what's happening right now. Nobody's just really taking a risk yet. It's just jab, jab rather than, you know, big uppercut yet. Let's see how Steve can respond. So he's angling his ball a lot more than most of us do. But usually he hits it pretty well, so. Yep, told you.
All right. Yeah, you called it. That was a shot that Steve's pretty good at.
Yeah,
First try,
he
7
loves
points.
it, so 16-13, if I'm correct.
That's what I have.
Yeah, and
Right,
so
Pot's
he's
right.
slowly making the gap. Granted, the gap doesn't really matter. It's still one shot gap, really, at this point. So, again, still observation time here. But yeah, I knew this was kind of not a good pick for Gaston. Wow, another one. That is 0. That is very surprising, Kevin, actually. Actually, I take this back. This is risky. Okay. So this is a risky low point shot, actually. One of those shots that can work real good when you feel it, and you could just not work good at all if you don't hit it right or if you're in a bad day. So I'm kind of surprised he's taking a risk on that small of a shot here because the balls are dirty right now. It plays a little tough. The table doesn't slide very much either. So we'll make the shot a little trickier than it should be in normal time. Yeah, so you double kiss, I forgot to explain the shot actually. Double kissing off the 5 into the 13 back into the 11. So
A little bit of a zigzag pinball type effect here.
correct, yeah, and you could move this 5 ball about half diamond down towards the 11 as well. So he's decided to be exactly like the diagram, which is surprising as well, but let's see. He must know the setup that works for him. So this was pretty good. Went a little full. I don't like this choice actually for Steve. He's gonna open his ball a little bit. He's putting the 13 now about a ball away from the diamond rather than where he had it first. I believe the adjustment is enough. He's having to reach too as well. That's the leg on the table on the shots. Quite interesting setup. Yeah, I'm not in agreement with that pick, but hey. So that would be a 0. But the good news is this is still a hard shot, so even for Gaston, it could be tricky to make.
So a hard 7-pointer.
Yeah, very much. Actually, in my opinion, kind of a miscounted 7-pointer should be probably towards an 8 or 9. Marty. I thought it was Tom with an accent. Marty, I hope you're feeling better, my friend. I know health is was not the greatest lately, so we do miss you, my friend. Thank you, Mike Moody, as well. Yeah, this was a pretty good draw I did yesterday. I think talking about the draw contest, the world record, when I drew the cube 250.5 inches. I had to convert that to meters. I meant nothing to me, so which is 6 meters something 30, by the way.
Yeah, I converted Jason Lynch's, which was 581 centimeters, but I didn't convert yours. But yeah, I know it was over 6 meters.
Yeah. Yeah, so see like how the 13, how close this 13 is? It's a much better setup. This is pretty much my setup. I think it works better, and I'm definitely shooting that softer as well. So he knows how to shoot this shot. Fortunately for Steve.
Ooh, very close.
I didn't shoot it soft either. He shot a little too hard, which is why he got this big impact of it. Let's see. Space is good. It's about a chalk away from the rail. Maybe a little less. Same shot, really, Gaston. There's nothing to really overthink there. Well, Marty, if you're in Vegas, let me know if you want to grab dinner. I should be in town. I have a lot of things to do next week, but might be able to swing a dinner or something. I hit it good again, just no luck. I know I'm shooting some videos, Joey Gray, on Monday, right away. Then I believe I have... who else? I know I have a couple pool players coming. Gerson as well. So some more of those online challenges on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, Michael, I think that the setup is the same for... This is a better setup than the one Steve had. I'm very surprised, actually, yeah. But sometimes, you know, you find the shots, and there's nothing wrong if you can find the setup that works for you.
There it
And
is.
he cleared it. Beautifully done here.
All right, so 5 points for Gaston.
That's the first mistake of the match here, I believe. Should be a 21-13 in favor of Gaston. And Gaston will have the next pick, so it's kind of a big turnover here. You really don't want to miss on your own shot. Hit that great. Hit that great. So the next one is bank and kick. He's now an 8 points lead. He's gonna try to obviously increase that by another shot that's makeable.
You see the players have their country's flags on the table there. Flag of Argentina for Gaston, USA for Steve.
A few flags today. The French guy usually have the flag as well.
And plus, Gaston has his
Picture of
his lucky charm there. His picture of his... Is that his wife?
must be
Sherry says yes.
3B. So that's an 8-pointer.
The kiss back.
Not a kiss shot. Ooh. Alright, so this is a smart pick from Gaston. This is another pool player shot. More than trick shot, right? Simple double kiss of the one. Back into the corner ball. It's not really difficult. You just play that straight draw. However, you gotta hit that right. There's quite some length to travel. And this is, you know, pretty easy to get wrong. You could easily do 3 attempts and just not score. So
Requires a very accurate hit.
yeah, and he's again basing himself on the fact that Steve probably isn't as strong of a normal pool player than he is. So this just goes to matchup, right? And Steve's gonna have to respond with something that's more towards his neck of the wood than this. Now, I'm curious to see how he plays it. It's the first time I see anybody play at this tournament, so we're about to see how he reacts. The rails are pretty bouncy, so shouldn't be a problem to get the power back at all.
First try. Nice.
Well, way to
Wow.
go here. That is strong.
Gaston came to play.
That is very strong. This is a big hit here for Steve. Very, very tricky shot to make that. He made this look easy. Got a little fortunate here. Hit the rail pretty high, but had the right spin on that ball to kind of keep it in check. Yeah, he clearly had an idea in this match on shot selection. Like I say, he has been watching pretty much everyone this week, Gaston. I think he's been at the venue the whole day, every single day.
There's Steve Markle's, I believe, wife in the background there.
Correct, yeah. Caroline. All right, Steve, come on. This is pretty good, actually, but not enough. It's a small adjustment here. It was almost dead on, so just a little bit more on the inside of the one. You don't want to over adjust there, though. Get close enough. I didn't adjust enough. So interestingly, in the preliminary rounds, Gaston didn't play as good as Steve, actually, I believe. So Steve is the highest seeded. And Gaston had a pretty short run. Yeah, come on.
Oh, caught the point.
Man, that hurts. I hit that good. This is what I said. Gaston got a little lucky in his first attempt because you always get close to that point. And this happens. You just can't make the shot. 4C.
4C.
Well, that was pretty unlucky. 4C is a 9-pointer and a stroke shot. Split the cue, I believe, yeah. As my friend Vincent would call it, the ugliest trick shot in the book.
I can see why he would say that.
So, for the story, this is a very old shot, by the way, Ken. This is a very old shot. Used originally on carom tables when you just split the cues and made a carom in the corner. There was none of this jump cue in the back. You didn't have to make this ball for simple straight carom, basically, right? So you're gonna hit the cue ball into that ball, that D ball, the yellow one. The ball is going to run into the cue, creates an opening into the cue. Follow the guides using cue number 3 to get in there, and then the cue ball is going to go backwards, jump over the cue, and go back forwards, find a spot in between the gap, and make the ball number A. Steve is usually pretty good at that. It's a good pick for him. I don't know how well Gaston hit that, though. So we played this as a break cue. Personally, I played that with a full tip. I mean, a standard cue is a softer tip, but some people find it easier to get the air with the break cue. Yeah, he's hit that. Come on, keep going, ball. That's a pretty good shot. Just do the same thing with just a little more power on to follow.
Got a lot of spin on that ball.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's why I don't like to shoot this with the break cue, because you will lack a little bit of that follow, that force follow power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is still makeable, but it comes a different way.
Oh, Steve gonna shoot it from way back there now?
It was there earlier.
Oh,
yeah, it was there.
I thought he was closer to the middle of
No,
the
I
table.
believe he's using the rail.
Okay.
So, come on, Steve, you gotta make this one. too much. That's the next problem on the break cue. You get a little too much jump, sometimes the cue won't split wide open, it will just kind of go over it. Yeah, Gaston had a really good plan so far. He's made a bunch of easy shots, put some pressure down, let Steve miss him, didn't take any risk, and well, he's clearly in the lead now, and this is looking pretty bad if he doesn't make this. Come on, Steve. This is the one.
Oh, 10 ball.
Man, he doesn't have a good roll going his way right now. This was good. Good spin, good everything. Unfortunately, that ball didn't go in the right spot, so that will be another 0 on his own shot, and that, my friend, is usually deadly. So now at this point, Gaston can pretty much free roll. Now look at the slow-mo here. Yeah, great stroke on
Yeah,
that ball.
watch the 10 ball,
Oh,
just
I missed
misses
it
the
just
cue.
by a cue, by cue ball, maybe length, something. Ugh. But yeah, I was saying at this point, basically, Gaston can kind of free roll it. If he makes it, great, you know, fantastic. He's got no pressure anyway. I'm sure he knows how to shoot it. Does he like it? It's a different question, right? We don't really know that until we see him shoot it. But he's got no real pressure to it, so this is kind of the position you want to be in those playoffs. And so I said it's very difficult once you're down at the first quarter of the match to come back. Those playoffs are very cutthroat.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's a real uphill battle from here for Steve.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't miss, right? And it's not easy because the more you miss too, the worse it is, and you can almost never come back. So far, Gaston handled this match like a veteran's really, you know, controlled everything, put the pressure down, don't miss a shot. I'll look at an update on the other tables. On table 2, Wayne seems to be leading over Max Sands 39-22, which is a very high score, by the way. So must have been pulling out some 10-pointers and making them. On table 2, I don't know if they're keeping score because otherwise it's 6-9 in favor of Tim, which seems a little low. And on table 4, so on table 3, that was 3. On table 4, Brian and Jason have a tie at 23 apiece, which is
that's about as tight as it gets.
yeah, can't really do much better than that. So I'm curious if they have updated the score on table 3. I would be very shocked otherwise. That means both players having a bad day.
Yeah, if that's the real score, that's...
Again, though, it's possible. You know, everything in playoff, everything is harder, more difficult. So Gaston's taking his sweet time here. Again, kind of another move, part of the job, right? The more you stay at the table when the other guy just missed, the more it kind of hurts. It's kind of a old school pool player move, right?
Kind of icing your opponent a little bit.
In a way, yeah. Obviously, you know, we're not necessarily thinking about it the same way, but yeah, it's same idea. Doesn't like it. Okay, so that's good news for Steve. That wasn't even close, really, so it was a good pick. The bad news is he didn't make his own pick, so no matter if Gaston misses it, it won't change the score. And then after stroke, he will be jump. The jumps, both players should be pretty okay on any of the shots. Jump probably is one of the easiest discipline in the whole program. There's very few shots that are tricky, aside from a couple 10-pointers maybe. Well, actually, I take this back. There's a few jumps that are weird in the 9 points and 10 points. So, but Gaston won't necessarily have to shoot them. And then Steve will have first pick on Masse. Alright, he's changed cue. Let's go with shorter and probably harder tip, I'm guessing. No, same results. And also, this is really the worst when when you find the right shot for your opponent that you know he can't make, but unfortunately you missed it, even though you love it. That is a deadly feeling, unfortunately.
Yeah, the good news is your opponent's not gaining any points, but you know, it was your pick. You should have had it.
Yeah, like I said, Gaston's kind of free rolling already, so. This is kind of an extra bonus here. Maybe you can get lucky. He's hit it way too thin every time. He's got to go more into the ball. So when I mean more into the ball is, yeah, more where towards he's aiming rather than the other way he was cutting the ball a little too much.
So in the draw competition, congratulations, by the way, on winning that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what was the farthest you've ever drawn the ball?
You know, that was about that actually. I
So-
think at home I was trying for a little bit, and 2.5 tables was about, past 2.5 table was about what I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
I played on Chinese 8-ball tables before, so I knew the rails were a little more bouncy. However, the cloth is, directional cloth, so it's much slower usually than pool table. So I didn't know exactly what to expect, but table played fantastic, and I just happened to hit a absolutely perfect stroke, I guess. So 29-13 here, and no score for both players. Steve obviously was much closer to make it, but did not score. And it will be Gaston's first pick for jumps. No worries, Terry. We'll try to keep you updated on all the tables as well, if we can. As long as the players are keeping score correctly. I would like to know if they're keeping score on table 3, though. That worries me.
I'm suspecting they're not keeping score on the cards.
I'm very tempted to. I want to ask around real quick.
All right, Florian's gonna go try to find out if that's the correct score on table 3 or not. All right, looks like Gaston has made a decision.
And I sent a minion to ask for a score.
It's
Wow,
good.
the
It's
score
good
is
to be king.
correct.
It's good to be king.
The score is correct.
Oh, that hurts. They're having a rough time over there.
Yeah, and well, either sometimes in playoff when you pick too many hard shots right away, they just don't come in, and well, it's a problem.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the final score is as long as your number is bigger than the other guys.
That's correct. You have two ways to play this playoff, right? You don't miss much, play easier shots, or you play only hard shots and hope that everybody kind of misses.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, it's probably 5C. It's a 10-pointer jump.
This is not Derby Horse Race. Jump in and out.
Oh, so
Jump in
5A.
and out.
Okay.
5A.
Yeah, I had them reversed. That's the first one in Zeppelin. Alright, so this is the first real difficult shot that we're going to see here. That's a 10-pointer. And is Gaston's finally taking a risk, trying to kill the match pretty much at this point. If he were to make it, it would be 39-13, and that almost guarantees him the win from there on.
Yeah, that would be a commanding lead at that point.
If he were to miss it, though, Steve could be right back in the match, actually. So
That is a risk.
it's a big risk, and it's a very difficult shot. A lot of things can go wrong. You have to jump the cue ball into the ball that's inside the rack. The cue ball will go on the left side or right side on the screen to the 11 ball, and the 12 will make the 13.
Oh, and there's one more rule that was added to the rule book. If you hit our camera lady, you automatically lose.
Yeah, this is actually one of the shots where the cue ball has made a few dents in my wall, I will be honest with you. I've broken a tile too. Sorry to my wife on that one. But yes, and also the bigger issue is to get the cue ball stay on the table, by the way. You can hit that absolutely sweet, and the cue ball's got a little too much momentum. and just goes off the table, and off the table is no good.
I can just imagine that now. Florian, you put another hole in the wall.
You know, I think
Sorry,
it was-
sweetie.
Yeah, she just, yeah. So I had about 150 holes probably in my wall upstairs, so which is why I had to put some sort of plastic thing on it. But I started on playing on the downstairs now, and that's not good. Hit that good.
Ooh.
Had a lot of momentum on the cue ball. He got lucky that ball went in, but unfortunately he missed the other object ball. So that is what it is. Very, like I said, very difficult shots. Very risky actually. Must be really liking it to shoot this at this time of the game. Let's see, we have Will de Jonker in the chat too. Will, who was the runner-up last year, not playing this year for some weird reason. Will, local guy too. I think he was busy with something actually, unfortunately. Alright, this is the last attempt for Gaston here. Same shot really. It's good. Wow. I told you he likes to celebrate. That is the
So
best attempt he's made actually.
That was his third try, right?
Yeah, he shot
So
it perfect.
8
So
points.
8 points. Puts him at 37. And yeah, this is nearly mission impossible for Steve here. He's gonna need a miracle. He needs to make it first. Wow, I tell you what, he shot that great. It's the right amount of everything here. Cue ball was never in danger to get out of the table. The other ball was good.
So speaking of your wife, we all know you love to shoot those trick shot videos with your wife up on the pool table.
Mm-hmm.
So how many times have you hit her with a ball? I'm sure you get this question a lot.
Plenty. We stopped counting. But I can tell you the worst one was I actually hit a ball, he hit the rail and he just went straight to her face, give her a black eye.
Oh.
So yeah, that was not great. That's probably the worst. And I did knock her out down one time. She took a ball full jump shot into the head.
Ouch.
And
she still agrees to get back up on the pool table
some
after
reason,
that. Huh?
yeah, she must really love me. I don't know. Yeah. So,
Wow.
but she's fearless. I will tell you that. All right, Steve. Got to make this here. Same deal. Looks good. Oh.
Oh, nice.
Well done.
Nice answer. 10 points.
10 points. Wow. Wow, this is the best answer he could have won. So it did hit the rock, but that's accepted in this shot. Some shots you cannot hit the rock at all. This one you can. Must have been a pick that Steve had practiced. So good shot here. Very well done. Okay, so 23 to 37. Not all is over.
So he's not out of it yet.
Nope. Yeah.
You still got a fighting chance.
He's gonna pick Massey. Massey is his discipline as well. He shoots them well. I wouldn't be surprised to find that 10-pointer coming in here. Maybe the Minguat Massey, which would be 5B, I think. He could go for a 9-pointer as well. He loves the jump Massey too. I'm not sure if the jump Massey is something Gaston shoots or not. Should be the Massey 3C.
3C.
It's a different one.
So the big guy Massey.
Okay, he likes that one too, yeah. I'm a little surprised he doesn't go for something a little more point heavy at this point. This is kind of a pool player shot as well, so just swerve the ball around the 3 here, that red one, 2 rail, back into the combo. Those table play short, so you do have to hit that pretty well.
So maybe he just wants to shoot a shot he's confident in and just hope his opponent misses.
Yeah, I would assume he shoots this in preliminary round, probably made it fairly easily. And Well, it's still an 8-point shot, right? So if you
It's
can
not that
guarantee
easy.
8
Not
points,
that
it's
easy.
not bad. No, it is missable. You'll see two ways to shoot this shot. Like he's shooting it with the plain cue, or with a mass AQ. That looks pretty good, but a little long. So he's banking on the fact that the table does play short. It's gonna just adjust a little bit. Not that much, actually. Looks pretty good. Too short, maybe. Let's see. It's
Oh,
close.
maybe.
Yeah, it's too short. Yeah, I
Ooh.
told you. Usually, when you see it coming to the corner, you know by how far it is. It was hit well, though. Two good attempts. So one too long, one too short. Now miss in the middle, my friend. Too long. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Again, a shot that he picked. No score. The good news is only an 8 points, so he won't finish the match, but that is not what he was hoping for. It's very surprising, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
A little rattled, maybe.
struggling a little on his own shots.
Yeah, it's really the worst feeling too, because that is something you have control over, right? And when you miss on the other guy's shots, it's okay, I guess. It happens, right? But when you miss on your own, it's really tough. And you know, again, those two players are great players, so they will know every shot in the book. It just matters how confident they are at it. See, we have Chris Woodrum in the chat as well. Chris, we miss you, buddy. Chris used to play in all those things. Don't know exactly where he stopped. Might need to let us know. Alright, a little update on the scores. On table 2, Wayne versus Max Hans. 54 for Wayne, 22 for Max Hans, a commanding lead. They are starting Mass A discipline as well. On table 3, I see 17 versus 20 something, so Anthony is losing to Tim Chin by a few points. Oh, that looks good. That looks dead on. There we go.
All right, 8 points.
Yeah, that was bound to happen here. 45 to 23. So yeah, so 17 to 20 something. I can't tell because there's a drink in front of the number. And on the last table, Brian and Jason. Brian is leading 29 to 23. Yeah, this was a very risky pick from Steve. I think, I mean, again, he didn't sell it out because it was a lower coefficient, so it's all right, but he is now more than 2 shots away, and there is a total of 8 shots left. This was the end of the first. Oh, look at that little gamemanship again.
Taking a little player break.
Yeah. I mean, again, you know, there's yeah, gamemanship.
We can point the camera over at a different match here, see what's
Thank you,
going on.
Caitlin. Said team has 21 to Anthony 17, so quite close.
We'll watch Max Sense on the next table.
So he's doing the jump mass A, so it's his pick on the jump on the mass A. I'm assuming that's a shot Max Sense would pick. You jump the cue ball over the rack and makes a U-turn, comes back to make the 11. It's miscue here. Team just made another shot, so assuming he's gonna have a decent lead now. Oh, that's it. No. A little too quick here.
Oh, he did make it. All right.
Yeah,
Nice shot.
What counts as a show ends the show, so.
Yeah, and exhibitions with a little bit of stick English. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a big miss actually for Max Hans, because that could have been another 9 points. Make him keep the score, but again, you got a 30-point differential here, which is a three shots lead, really. We count this as 3 10-pointers, right? That means the opponent would have to make 3 10 points in a row. You'd have to miss them 3 in a row, which is very unlikely, but this is the worst case scenario, right? So right now, in this Steve versus Gaston match, we have another 8 shot left. 4 pick for each players. So total of realistically 80 points, which is really not 80 because if Gaston were to pick only 6 pointers from there on, Steve would have to pick 4. That would be 40 and 6, 12, 18, 24. So 64 points, right? So as soon as the differential is over that, then the match is pretty much over.
So I heard the story that you were destined to become an optometrist, and if trick shots didn't work out, you're going back in the family business, something along those lines. Is that how that worked out?
No, I'm actually I am an optometrist.
You are an
I am
optometrist. That is your day job?
I have a degree for it. No, I actually went to school.
So do we have to call you Dr. Kohler?
No, I'm not a doctor. Unfortunately, I missed the. So in France, you got to do medicine school. It's a couple of year of general medicine, and you go into graduation, and there's only 200 people that really are able to get doctor. I ended up being, it was 240 this year. I ended up being 250, and I missed the cut. So then I, by default, picked something, you know, that was allowed by the rest of the rankings, and ended up in optometry.
Okay.
Did that for 4 years, I believe, and then yeah, I decided the job was pretty boring, and figured I told my parents, you know, hey, you guys, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna go to the U.S. and give me 6 months. You don't need to help me at all. I'll figure it out. I'll go with whatever I have left on the account, which was not much, to be fair. And sometimes this, you know, your best work is when you're down the wall, and I made it work. I absolutely love this country. Don't want to come back, and clearly it's a much more fun job than selling glasses. I'm sorry.
Than asking people which is better, 1 or 2.
Exactly.
A or B, which is clear.
I mean, listen, you know, there's no dumb job, but it really is not the most passionating job, in my opinion. Granted, it is more complex and there's more to it than people would believe. And actually, even for pool, you know, I always try to help people setting up glasses. There's a few things that do matter, especially for our sports, because you know, the center of the pupils or whatever, if you have them right on the pool position, some people, you know, it really helped them strongly. So I do advise people a few times here and there, and even myself, I do have a different pair for playing that has some modification to it. All right, so this is Gaston's pick here. Discipline 6 is stroke, 5B is a 10-pointer. It's a whip draw or fouette shots from the French fouette. You're going to draw the cue ball 2 rail, short rail, long rail, make the 13. It's going to go into the cue, open up the cue, create the gap to let the cue ball pass by the 7 and make the 8 in the side pocket. So very technical shot. I wouldn't be surprised if Gaston hit that quite well. You go usually bottom and touch a right spin. Oh, I hit that sweet.
Yeah, when it sounds
No
like
doubt.
when it sounds like a
No
miscue,
doubt.
that's actually the perfect hit.
Yeah, it's got a very distinctive sound. Well, he's in dead stroke right now.
You hit that amazing.
Again, you know, with how much score differential there is, he doesn't have to really worry about it. Complete different mind and match than for Steve right now. So, yeah, hit that great. There's no doubt he was gonna make it there. On table 2, Wayne is taking the commanding lead as well, 62-22, which is pretty big over Max Ince. Table 3, 17-30 something for Tim over Anthony. And table 4, Brian is now behind 29-32. Jason in the lead. Sorry. My bad.
Mute button.
I forgot about the mute button. I did get unfortunate flu coming in straight up here. All drugged up, so I see we have Jamie Moody in the chat too. Jamie just won a fantastic match earlier on the stream too, I
That
believe.
was quite the nail biter. That was a very dramatic finish there.
Between two friends too, Jamie and Abram, and they usually room together and everything, so it always sucks when you gotta play your friends. But
Yeah, a bittersweet win for Jamie.
Nevertheless, it was a fantastic match. So
it was very close, very tight all the way, hard fought by both players.
and all the way to the last shot, correct?
Came down to the very last shot, the last, attempt number 3 of the last shot of the match. 1 point difference.
It was 1 point difference.
There was a 1 point difference in the final score.
Unbelievable.
It was a great match.
All right, Steve, you gotta make this to have a chance to still stay in business here. It's fortunately a good start here. As you can see, he's got a little bit of a different setup. He's further away from the rail that Gaston was. The piece in the middle is a 2mm gauge to make sure the balls are close enough. Now, those shots, those fouet shots, it's one of the most controversial technique, I guess, in pool. People think it's a foul, double hit. Really, a fouet is not a double hit when it's done well. However, if the ball is frozen, then it doesn't work, right?
Right,
And
there does have to be a gap.
if it's too far, then it becomes a draw shot, so which is why we have the little device.
Yep, I've seen the super slow motion up close of this shot, and it's definitely a legal hit when done correctly.
Come on, Steve. We actually had a little, I think it was Dr. Dave, super slow-mo camera. Went to my house and we recorded a bunch so to make sure that it was correct. And to be fair, every pool shot is actually really close to be a double hit anyway, because a lot of time you hit the ball multiple times in a way, right? Because in slow-mo the tip kind of contacts the ball several times regardless. So it's very weird actually.
Yeah, especially on like a miscue. Any miscue is like a double or triple or quadruple hit just by the very nature of a miscue. So
even a normal shot too, like your tip kind of goes in contact away, but it's just a matter of smaller amount of time, right? And then the double hit have a more ample amount of time in between both hits. That's pretty good. It won't make it. I mean, this is very, very tough for Steve here, unfortunately. I'm afraid this is it for him today. But, this is why those playoffs are deadly, really. It's, you just can't miss, and when you're down, it's very hard to come back. Nothing to take away from Gaston, who's played great so far, has not missed a shot. Well, he's missed one shot. So, it's really hard to fight that. Update on table 4. It looks like Brian is now in the lead, 38-32.
oh, looks like we have Speedy Skater.
You know what, that's not a bad pick for Steve. That's almost an unmissable shot for him. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but he shoots it very well. And it's a guaranteed, is it a 9-pointer? I believe it is, a 9 or an 8-pointer. That would be in banks.
There it
5.
is. 9 points.
9 points. Yeah, so if you can make this first try, for some reason I believe Gaston struggled with it, so it's a good observation pick. We'll see if Gaston's already figured it out since then. I think I may have seen that in practice earlier. On table 2, Wayne is still in the lead, 68-36, so Maxon's made a really good shot. Oh, come on, Steve. Man, nothing's going his way right now. He's had the right shot too, just that ball didn't go in. On table 3, Anthony is down 17-38 over Tim. And score has not changed on Brian and Jason yet. Steve's gonna make a little adjustment here. That ball just missed by a little margin. These pockets have been nothing but tough for us, I think, this week.
Yeah, these pockets have been rejecting a lot of shots that I would not expect.
I don't know how big they are, but they're really not that big.
I've heard that they're 4.5 inch, but they're playing like they're tighter.
I find it hard to believe. I think they may be smaller. I don't know. You know, it's tough to say. I mean, obviously the weather and conditions are, you know, quite a thing. It's been cold outside. Doesn't necessarily help the play usually. Venue's pretty warm though, so. Okay, that's it. This should be just fine.
Oh,
Are you
don't
kidding
drift
me?
off. Oh,
Drift
my.
off on him.
I think it drifted off.
Are you kidding me right now? Oh, I can't catch a break. Man, it's just
Yeah, he couldn't buy a roll at a bakery.
I did say I talked to Michael this morning. I said, Michael, you need to bless those tables or something. We we are getting a lot of bad rolls. It's not possible.
Andrew Sozio says these pockets hate me.
No, and I've played with Andrew all the preliminary round, and I think he had 6 bad rolls at least. When I mean bad, I mean like terrible unlucky shots. Come on, Steve, you gotta make this. That's gotta be it.
Does it have legs?
It does. It does.
All right. 7 points for Steve.
All right, now he needs Gaston to miss that big time. So obviously the first thing you do on this shot is take the cues away from the table because well, you need the other player to find the spot as well, right? You don't want to make the work for them.
And you don't want to make it too easy on your opponent.
Granted that most of us have different cues anyway that we like because the reaction of it and you know, simply a different material on the cue would make the reaction different anyway. So we'll see how Gaston shoots that. It's very interesting because yeah, he used to not like this, so.
No, I've even seen some players, you know, only put up a single cue stick, which seems silly to me. It seems like you would want 2 cue sticks for the extra weight.
Yeah, I never understood that either. I can't remember who does it, but somebody does it that's a pretty top-level player, and it just hits it well, so. But yeah, I think the 2 cues made the bounce a lot steadier and much easier, so. So he's had them completely different lined up, right? Way more angled than Steve does. So usually you play that with a lot of spin, so that means he's played that with less spin. And just more of the natural roll of the table. Oh yeah, hit that way harder than most. Okay, too hard, but it is looking better. He definitely found a way to shoot this shot.
Well,
I mean,
he wanted to make sure it had enough speed to get there.
We really don't want to hate on anyone or, you know, force him to miss a shot, but for the sake of the match here, it would be kind of nice for Steve to be able to get a win here.
You know, we always like to see nice, close matches.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just not in the cards.
Yeah, sometimes it's what it is. All right, let's see if he's made the adjustment here. He's gonna shoot that a little less hard. So pretty hard. This looks better. No.
Ooh.
No, it was just off a little too much. You know, I noticed a few players put this ball quite far away outside from the side, the cut of the pocket. I usually like to put mine pretty deep in there for that exact reason. There you go. Yeah, Tim Chin uses the 1Q setup. I knew it was one of the top guys using 1Q. So speaking of Tim Chin, it looks like we got a 34 to 54 on the table over Anthony. He's leading. Table 2, Wayne leading 74 to 36 over Max Hans. And in the back, on table 4, Jason has regained the lead over Brian, 47 to 44. So a back and forth going on out there. Must be a good battle in between those two guys, two good friends anyway. Alright, this is the last attempt for Gaston here. Quite frankly, I wouldn't change much. He's got this cue ball 5 ball down. So all he needs to do is angle the cue maybe a little different. By a pinch. And this should do the trick. I didn't see him touch the cue though, so we'll see. Maybe. No. No. Alright, good pick, Steve. Alright.
Alright, good
He
pick
needed
for
that.
Steve.
He needed this one. 55 to 30. So
He's not out of it yet. How many shots do we have left in the program here?
there's
5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total
6 more.
potential shots. Look at that. Oh, I like it. Now Steve is taking a bathroom break.
Alright, let's see if we can point this camera
Yeah, Jamie.
over
Brian is down 44 to 47 versus Jason right now. And he's shooting the half butterfly.
here. Right.
So
Well,
in
right now we're looking at Wayne Parker versus Max Sense.
So Wayne here at this point is leading 74 to 36. I'm assuming it's his pick, and he picked a 6-pointer stroke shot. Clearly he's got more than 3 shots ahead as well. So he's gonna basically control the match as well. And so Gaston here's got his A player, 1, 2, 3 picks. Steve's got 4. Am I correct there? Yes. So even if Gaston picks only 6 points, 6 pointers, that's 18 points. That's an 18 points differential. Steve still got another 40 possible points. So 1, 2, 3. No, sorry, 130. So yeah, the match is clearly not over, but it's gonna come close. Steve is gonna need to put up those big points now. I'm assuming on Gaston's side he's gonna go for something pretty simple. Try to just get the score higher, let it roll, as we say. Yep, nice shot, Wayne.
Alright, Steve Markle is back. Looks like it's Gaston's pick.
Yeah, I'm assuming a 6-pointer is next, or 7, something like that. I wouldn't really see him pick hard shots. Could be wrong, but he hasn't really taken big risks so far, so. Yeah, it's an important decision.
Alright, we have a decision.
Or not.
We thought.
Still in the making.
He's bluffing us.
There you go. Discipline 5, 5A, so a 10-pointer. Made me lie again. 5A is, ooh, okay. That is a risky bet here again. That is some strange strategy.
Ah,
And I tell you why.
the old one pocket shot.
Yeah, because everybody can make this on a good day, but everybody can miss it on a good day as well. So the only person I know that shoots that amazing is Ralph Eckertz. And even him, it's gonna be a 1 out of 3. Well, maybe he is.
Wow. Wow.
I'll take this back. I might have found somebody who shoots it better than Ralph.
Wow.
Yeah, just to make sure
He just steps
everybody
up.
heard.
This guy's wild. You gotta get me away from him. Florian.
He's a madman.
What a shot.
That is a madman pick right there. But I mean, hey, sometimes put all your cards down, right?
What a shot.
Yeah, this here is I mean, clearly Steve knows how to shoot the shot. I mean, this is one of the oldest shot in the book. We probably all learned that shot in that Mike Massey book, you know. But I mean, to make it like this on the first try, poof.
You gotta be feeling good.
Yeah. I mean, again, he's kind of free rolling. He had this advantage in the score, but you pick a 10-point like this, that difficult, they could go against you. It takes some cojones, as they say. Huh?
It does. No better word for it.
All right, Steve, come on. Same. Too thick, a little bit. So he's gonna have to hit that ball a little thinner. Surprising, you gotta hit this ball very thin, actually, to make this more efficiently. Yeah, he's doing the same thing as most people do. It's a ball plus gap. And he shot the right thing, just soft, thinner.
Yeah, Gaston hit it very thin. In fact, I thought he hit it too thin, but it turns out it was perfect.
No, that's the way you want to shoot it. Yeah, you want to hit it very thin so that ball almost barely move off the cushion, so you can have a little bit of that short rail comes into play and make it. But on those pockets, man, you gotta shoot it right. Even himself is surprised, actually. You can see it. Come on, Steve. This is now. A little too hard, a little too... Yeah, he didn't blow. I mean, that's a big blow right there. Ooh. Hey. I tell you what, he's gonna sleep good after that one.
Right?
So Steve's pick. So now we gotta do some math. It's gonna be over soon mathematically, I think. Steve's got 3 picks, so technically another 30 points. So he's still alive at the moment. That would make it 60. And then there's another at least 6, 12, 18. Sorry. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So he's still alive, but he's got to get a 10-point down now. Anything less is
3-4-C.
9-pointer again. I'm really surprised he doesn't go for.
All right, the
Okay,
zigzag
that's
shot.
a good shot though.
It's a fun shot when it goes.
You
It's a
said
fun
this-
shot to watch.
They said no, it's not the zigzag shot.
Oh.
It's discipline 3. It's a draw shot.
I did the wrong.
isn't it?
I did the wrong one.
The
3-4-C.
one-hand draw.
One hand quick draw.
Okay, not a bad pick, but I don't know if I would have picked that if I were Steve right now, because that is a very. You need a steady hand for that. Under pressure is very difficult. So on the one side you got Steve, who's got a lot of pressure, and Gaston, who's free rolling. So kind of a strange pick. Steve shoots that very good though. He's kind of an expert at it.
He's using the down on one leg
Yep.
maneuver.
So much pressure on this shot though. I mean, you would be amazed how shaky. As much as it's such an easy shot in videos at home, it is one of the most I don't know, stressful shot you could have in a match like that. Very, very difficult. Okay, so on table 2, in the meantime, Wayne is now over. Maxon's leading 80 to 36. So that's about to be over out there. On the other table, there's a bit of a glare. Tim is leading 54 to something. I don't know. 34
I
maybe?
think.
Yeah. And in the back table, my eyesight is correct, it's
60.
58 to 63 for Jason, right?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Alright, Steve, come on, you gotta make this stay alive here. Yes, sir. Oh, I hit that sweet. See how good he hit that?
7 points.
He can find that stroke. Alright, so 7 points. Yeah, that ball had plenty to go and more to spare. Wow, we really got a good match in the back table out there, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty tight match and high scoring too.
1 point differential here. Brian doing the double jump. Wow.
That's your shot.
That's my shot, but not Brian's favorite, I will tell you that. Wow, he almost made it to the cue ball jump off the table, sadly for him. Alright, so Gaston here is going to take a crack at the one-hand shot. I don't think I've seen him play yet. I'm not sure if he plays it in the standard draw. Okay. Not bad, but not the greatest attempt. Definitely does not look as comfortable as Steve playing the shot, so probably another good pick from Steve.
So Gaston uses the horse stance.
The horse stance, huh?
Yeah, like riding a horse. That's actually a stance in martial arts, the horse stance.
Are you doing martial arts?
I have 2 sons, so yeah, they did.
Oh yeah. You know, not many people know I'm actually a black belt in judo.
Oh.
Yeah. That's my first original sport. Did that till I was probably 19, 20 years old.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll be careful what I say around you then.
Yeah. I'm getting old.
Thanks for the warning.
Alright, so this is going to be the last attempt for Gaston here. Another good pick from Steve. You can say what you want, but Steve had some pretty good picks, actually, against Gaston. And he's so far zeroed on a few of the picks. It's unfortunate that Steve couldn't make his own shot, because had he been able to, it would have been a much, much closer game here.
Right, that was a good pick from Steve.
Very good. It obviously assessed that the fact that Gaston doesn't like that shot so much, and so well done. It wasn't a 10-pointer though, so it's only 7 points. Oh, Jason made a huge shot in the back here, clearing that double jump on the third attempt, probably giving him 7 points. We're about to see the score, but that should probably be the turnaround in the match out there.
All right, and our table here, we've got a 28-point difference with 4 shots left.
So, again, there's potentially 40 points, right? But there's really not that many, because Gaston's got 2 picks, so if he picks 2 6-pointers, that's 12, and then another 20 for Steve. So that's 32, right?
Right.
And you have a how many point differential?
28.
Yeah, so it's close. So Steve can't miss whatever he's gonna get his way. 5.
Going for a 10-pointer, okay.
That is so strange again. Well, I don't want to give out all my secrets, but I don't believe strategically it's the best choice. So, but he must really like it. Which one is 5B?
Corner stuffing.
Oh, okay. So this is a different kind of pick. So the corner stuffing is one of the most unreliable and difficult shot in the program. Personally, I believe there should be a combo by pocket C, because the shot is that difficult already. But you can actually make that pretty good if you studied the table before and have your marks down there, right? Now the big problem is to make that 8-3 ball. It has a tendency to come short usually, or long, depends, or maybe even carry in between. So even if you know how to shoot it, it's more about how you set it up, right? So if he's played it in practice and he's made it there, then he's got a good shot. And the second part of that shot is because it's so difficult, he's banking on the fact that even if he were to miss it, Steve probably won't make it either, especially if he didn't practice it on the table earlier. Now you could get lucky, you know, and guess it right away, but a very tough shot. So all those 3 balls in the same corner, and then cue ball drop back into the opposite corner. Yeah, unfortunately, it is over for Brian there on table 4. I believe Jason has just won the match on the jump masse. Let's see here. That's a big shot. Yeah, yeah. Lots of... That's actually as bad as you can hit it the first try because no ball is going, so you can't even know really where to adjust. Now we do have the replay, so we could tell you where they missed. Let's see. Okay, a little long. Not so bad, actually.
The 15 might have been going.
Yeah, not so bad. It's actually a pretty good start. So if you're him here, you actually don't want to change too much. But since he does not have the slow-mo, hard to say. You could believe that, you know, one ball was really wrong and re-angle the whole thing. Right, let's see. Attempt number 2. Whoa.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
What a shot.
It's just a little happy.
9 points.
Just a little happy. I tell you what, he did not make the mistake to readjust more, which was most players would do, even after missing all 3 balls. Played the same thing, and wow. Yeah, this time they just went in pretty damn good, and he hardly made the 10, but he did. I tell you what, he's made a couple insane 10-pointers.
He's a madman.
You can tell they're hard shots too. Just look at his face.
Man, I would be very pleased also.
Alright, so hopefully for Steve, he practiced it before and has some sort of general idea where to put it. If not, I believe, guys, this will be over, because if he does not make this, there's only 30 potential points left, and 37 plus 30, oh no, it still works. Never mind, take this back. No, it doesn't. No, that would be 67. He's got to make it. Tell you what, this is not bad. He practiced it. Ah, he actually went low. That's a rare miss. Usually you miss it on the other side, onto the long rail rather than on the short rail.
Yeah, the 3 balls all went. It was the cue ball
yeah.
that missed.
That's the good part, though. If you get this right away, both players must have practiced this shot earlier, which I'm assuming is a surprise to Gaston. He looks a little shook, the fact that he's that close. Granted that he's still leading by a fairly huge margin, so it should be okay. But
Gaston was nodding his head in appreciation after after Steve's first attempt.
no, he was expecting, you know, like a total miss, and instead he got a really close one here.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, all right, I see what you got. All right, good job. All right."
So a little less bottom here for Steve on the cue ball. Same thing on the ball. Oh no, still too low. He didn't hit the same spot on those 2 balls though, so unfortunately it didn't go his way. Table 2, Wayne is now leading 86 over to 36 to Max Hans. He can't be that far away from winning the whole thing. And then on table 3, Anthony is down 43 to 63, so about 2 shots. Assuming it can't be that far down, that far away to finish as well. Alright, come on, Steve. Give us a good one here for the highlight reel. Damn. Over adjusted this time, which in return moved the ball. So 74 to 37. There really is only 30 points possible. That is over, guys.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a handshake.
I mean, I think they don't know yet, but I'm 99% sure my math is correct. Well, we get to see an extra shot.
One more shot?
Why not?
All right. Derby horse race.
I mean, we are correct, right? It's 30 points left. Yeah. I'm actually surprised Gaston didn't... Actually, I'm not surprised. The reason why is because at this point he's already won the match. So even if you notice that the differential is met, you might as well try to get an extra crack at the table, an extra shot, right? And get some practice down the road.
Yeah,
So
it's extra practice and actual competition, which
does not hurt you at all.
which is not the same as practicing by yourself.
Exactly. So update on table 3. Tim is leading over Anthony 71 to 52. They're doing a masse shot, jump masse right now for Anthony. Which he just made, so I believe he'll be over. We're gonna watch this one first. Let's go, Steve. Oh. So on table 3, Tim just defeated Anthony, 71 to 52 something. Yeah, I think he made the last shot though, so probably a little closer than that, but no matter, it is still over. And on table 2, it's about to be over as well. And here, Steve is trying the Derby horse race for a second try. No. I think he knows it's over. He just doesn't. He actually shoots this one real well usually.
Yeah, I think they're just having some fun at this point.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to get one last crack at a good shot for the stream.
Looks like Tom Rossman's about to step in.
Yeah, Tom says, I want to go home. Well, Tom actually has got to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, so...
All right, surely that's it.
Yeah, there's no way there, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna try it, or are they done?
No,
They're done. All right, nicely done, gentlemen. So Gaston, the Prince, Tomadoni, with a great performance this match. See, so Steve Markle, also a great player, just didn't show it in this match.
It just happens, you know. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days.
Yeah, there was a lot of near misses. You know, just that's the way the balls roll sometimes.
To be fair, Gaston played really well.
He did.
Made a couple monster shots.
He put the pressure on and kept it on the whole time.
Absolutely. So
great performance by Gaston. All right, our next match is gonna. This is actually done for today. Our next match is gonna be 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's gonna be the first quarterfinal. So I am Kevin Ross, along with Florian, Venom, Kohler. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yep,
See you guys.